Spoiler alert, this is going to cover all of the show as of August 6th, 2020. That includes every episode up to Season 7, Episode 9. 100! I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a plague going around. The plague of mediocre action shows like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Their lack of color and personality is enough to lower your dopamine levels to a mere this is better than nothing level, as they provide endless, repetitive plot lines and mindless action eye fodder for their demographic. Personally, not my cup of tea, nor anyone's cup of tea if I have anything to say about it. Unfortunately, I was tricked into watching a good chunk of what could be considered the creme de la crop of this flaccid genre of entertainment. The 100. And I'm mad that I had to watch it, so here's 100 reasons why it sucks so you don't have to suffer the same fate as I. Or if you did suffer the same fate, maybe you can be angry with me. Now, let's start with Season 1. Now, the reason I even watched the show was because I thought the idea was interesting. Lord of the Flies in space? Fun! That is, if the characters are fun, charismatic and whatever, which leads me to the first problem with the show. Number 1. The characters are too serious all the time. Not always the actors' faults, though. Sometimes it is. Usually, it's the writers' faults. This wouldn't be an issue if it didn't continue for, the whole show. Reason number 2. Aliens only show up in the show at around the 7th season. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of mutant Earth animals, bugs, and a cave. Reason number 3. Humans suck, or humanity sucks. Very few times do they address this, but it's kind of the main point of the show. No one can agree on anything, and no one trusts anyone. So every time new characters join the picture, you can expect a war or many episodes of stalling until said war happens. Number 4, as I kind of explained before, negotiation often doesn't work, and this becomes more frustrating as the seasons go on. Number 5, Kane is originally a villain, but once his mom dies and he loses power on the Ark, his character flips into Jesus mode. This character flipping will happen quite a bit later on. Number 6, Lincoln's really weird motivation for loving Octavia when they've never talked and the only evidence is a stupid drawing in his book. And immediately after that, Octavia is obsessed with him. And number 7, lack of swearing, but excess of gore. I think swearing would make the show more fun and kind of get rid of reason number 1. Ha, rhymes. They've gone super far gore-wise. Why can't they just say frick once or twice instead of the cheesy as heck? Go float yourself. Number 8. Murphy not being dead after many near deaths. He was the leading cause of all the problems in the 100, and they should have killed him based on the morality of the show. Number 9. Abundance of kidnapping. Happens every other second on the show. Feels like Groundhog Day sometimes. Number 10. The colors. The 100 has the most boring color palette ever. Even in some of the most colorful and beautiful settings, they put some sort of filter on the screen that just ruins it. That's a problem with a lot of these kinds of shows right now, in my opinion. Number 11. I live in British Columbia where this is filmed, one of the most beautiful places in the world, arguably, and I've never seen it look more drab. Number 12. Use of the song Radioactive when the 100 gets to Earth. Number 13. Clarke doesn't draw enough, even though she's really good at drawing. Number 14. Wells gets sniped by a 2-year-old. Number 15. Jasper gets stabbed through the sternum and is hung as bait for a couple days in the woods without medicine. And when he comes back, he is fully healed in 2 episodes. Number 16. Dianna steals the Exodus ship and crashes it, supposedly killing everyone on board. A well thought out plan. Now before we move on, I have to say...
We didn't make it to Mount Weather.
Okay. Those are more general problems, which I just wanted to lay down in Season 1, since they're present throughout the show. Now Season 1 ain't all that bad. All the characters' arcs are fulfilled successfully. There are good cliffhangers and some fun concepts of power struggles and questions of morality, which let the viewer ask those same questions for themselves. That's all fine and whatnot, until you do it every season. Season 2. Number 17. Finn flipped from being a peace man in the previous season to murdering 18 innocent grounders for no reason. Oh wait, there was a reason. Because he loved Clarke. He went from questioning the morality of every negotiation decision to murdering innocents without hesitation in a time where the grounders would kill anyone in Sky Crew for even flinching. Number 18. Jaha is definitely evil and should have died in sacrifice in the previous season. But you need somebody to find the City of Light. Number 19. Clarke quits on life because of genocide at the end of the season. But she comes back in the next season because the show needs her. Number 20. Jasper falls in love with Maya, and he never lets it down when Clarke genocides her, and it's so annoying. Number 21. Lexa betrays Clarke at the last minute, even though all the Grounders wanted a war, and the Mountain Men were the enemy of everybody. Number 22. The genocide wasn't really necessary, because the Mount Weather was still habitable after the war, and they could have retrieved bone marrow from volunteers until they could all go outside. Clarke could have convinced Lexa to make it happen. Don't argue with me. Number 23. Octavia becomes a Grounder when she falls in love with Lincoln, even though she's lived under the floor all her life and would arguably be a total nerd. Number 24. Octavia won't shut up about Lincoln, and Bellamy won't shut up about Octavia. Number 25. Anya dies even though she was like the coolest character. Number 26. Shawn Mendes' whole cameo and song. Number 27. The old guy who owns Mount Weather has convinced every person in Mount Weather to enslave Grounders and take their blood for centuries. Yeah, some citizens rebel, but the staff never care. What? Are they getting paid by them or something? Number 28. Clarke represents the Sky People solely based on the fact that she's on the front cover of the show and that she's the best actress. Second only to Raven, maybe not the best actress. Number 29. Clarke kills Finn in the most painless way she can think possible. A knife wound to the gut. Number 30. Clarke doesn't like torturing Lincoln in the first season, but has no problem with torturing Maya in the second. Number 31. Murphy is still alive. Number 32. The old guy is only intimidating because he's taller than everyone else. Number 33. Abby is annoying and overprotective of Clarke, even though she can't die, so it's sort of annoying to sit through. Number 34. The odds of this happening. Okay. The main point to get across from this season is the last episode, with mass genocide, as I have explained before. I only expect it from quality shows like The 100. Also, Clarke's bisexual now. But that isn't a reason The 100 sucks. All inclusive, I say. Okay. Season 3. Number 35. Clarke kills a puma and has mud face. Number 36. The commanders should have ultimate power, but the Grounder Council is stupid. And Ice Crew, or Ice Nation, or whatever they're called, is causing the uproar. So just disband Ice Nation. You're the commander, you can do anything. Okay. Number 37. Rodrick, or Jasper as you like to call him, is depressed, and that's his character now. Number 38. Now, the main problem with this season is the whole Pike thing, so I'm going to use a couple points for this one. Pike actually gains power with a strong dose of Grounder racism. We'll call it Grounderism for short. Number 39. Bellamy believes him. Number 40. They gun down, without hesitation, I may add, like 300 sleeping Grounders. Number 41. The 300 Grounders were sent to protect them, which they already knew. Number 42. It takes 5 episodes to change Bellamy's mind. Number 43. Murphy is still alive and has a girlfriend now. A girlfriend with a... Number 44. We find out that Jasper does weed with Monty. Number 45. The Wanheda plotline. All of it. Just another excuse to have Clarke be the key. Number 46. Monty's mother had no soul and deserved to die. Number 47. The 100's torture formula is simple and predictable, and when Allie really gets going in the later part of the season, this becomes quite apparent. No amount of pain will work. You must kill a loved one. Works every time and creates tension. Textbook. Yes, that's what the chart says. Do this every time there's torture. Number 48. Of course. How could I forget? It's in the bloody thumbnail, for God's sake. The dreaded Octavia cry face. Here's a little fun fact. The City of Light is just Surrey City Centre, near where I live. Just a fact. Okay. Number 49. The City of Light is just a normal city. I was expecting light beams coming from every which way and stuff. Huge disappointment on the budget. Number 50. Kane is the only character who is actually thinking straight this season, which makes everything else very frustrating to watch. I almost quit the show in the middle of this season and therefore skipped an episode on purpose. No, I'm not going to rewatch it. Number 51. After Lincoln is shot by Pike because grounderism, Octavia becomes the most annoying character on the show, at least until the 6th season, when she is perhaps overtaken by Hope's character. Number 52. Clarke will not pull that goddamn switch, no matter how much you want her to, or no matter how many people are dying every second she waits. Nope. She'll continue to listen to the manipulative psychopath robot lady until she dumps the nuclear meltdown exposition for Clarke to hear for next season. Then she'll pull the switch. Okay, we're halfway through. Good Anya for making it this far and listening to my rant. So in reward, we're going to play What's Good About the 100. Some of them have pretty faces. Clarke looks pretty hot after ripping that puma apart with her mouth. I like the tension, even though I often know what's going to happen. Murph is probably my favorite character next to Kane, because Kane actually has some sense that doesn't involve his feelings, and Murph's face is pretty funny. I like Josephine's character. I thought she was the fun the series needed. She also had some deep character flaws I found interesting. Good on you, the 100. What else? I like the moral decisions when they're done well. I like the crazy stuff when Raven's freaking out. She's good at that. I like Octavia's stupid face. Yeah, I really don't like this show that much, so let's get the hate train rolling again. Choo-choo! Season number 4. At this point, I was mentally checked out of the show and was only watching it for the fun of watching ridiculous stuff. And boy, did this season deliver. Okay, number 53. So when everyone dies from the nuclear meltdown that Allie put into the City of Light, would they die and go into the City of Light? What's the logic? More of a CinemaZinzy one there. Okay, number 54. Jaha is still alive and has power. Number 55. The writers just like the number 100 so much that only 100 people from Sky Crew can survive any transitional period where only a certain amount of people can survive. That means more genocide, kind of. 100 live, thousands die. It's fine. Number 56. Octavia Cryface again. Number 57. Echo's like the worst. I sometimes wondered if she was speaking for the Ice Nation or just for her little opinions. Like me, actually. Number 58. Here's another general problem. I haven't really addressed this problem because it comes in full form in this season specifically. That is what the show thinks is the logical amount of injury to get someone killed, and who lives or dies upon the plot's will. The line is simply unclear most of the time, and frankly ridiculous that characters live through some events, yet die through others. I'll give you an example. Number 59. Octavia is stabbed through the chest. Okay, she's dead, right? No. Then she's thrown off a cliff that's hundreds of feet down into 3-foot-high rapids. So she's definitely dead. Nope. She shows up on a nearby rock and gets carried away by her horse. The story still needs her. Number 60. Another general thing is recovery times, which is kind of connected to the injury part. I don't care if all these kids are like healthy and heal really quickly or something, like Deadpool. Some of them should be crippled for life. Especially in Octavia's case from the cliff drop. But no, she's back to fighting in like 3 episodes. Number 61. There's one grounder that's mad his family is killed by alley zombies and decides to take his anger out on Arcadia for some reason because he thinks that they did it, and he blows up their shelter. This is obviously just because the writers needed a way to move the 100 to the underground bunker at Polis, but it's just kind of lazy writing. Okay, number 62. Sorry to rip on Octavia so much, but it's kind of deserved. She is dubbed Skairippa this season for being like the best warrior, even though she has the least amount of training and has only lost Lincoln. Compared to what the other grounders have lost, it doesn't make any sense why she's feared and not made fun of. Indra is like proud of her too. Number 63. When Clarke decides to sacrifice herself like she should, and everyone agrees it's the best way to test the Nightblood, Abby just can't take it, and she freaking destroys the only machine that's gonna make them live. I couldn't believe the stupidity of what I was watching. Feelings have been a problem for the characters before, but this just didn't make logical sense. Number 64. Rodrick or Jasper suicides on his Kool-Aid concoction. Number 65. In the battle of all the crews, Octavia Skai-weenie is a full-on coward. Number 66. Clarke avoids all the morality she's gained over the years and just steals the bunker behind everyone's back.
I'm trying to save us.
Potentially killing thousands. Number 67. Bellamy falls in love with Echo even though she constantly betrays everybody. Number 68. Raven stops being possessed by Allie by killing and unkilling herself in a frozen bathtub. Number 69. I like that Monty kind of starts doubting things, like Jasper, about the formula of the show, but they still keep doing the same things anyways, so it doesn't matter. Number 70. Clarke comes down the whole tower in less than a minute, and there's supposed to be fire at the bottom. Season number 5. Arguably the worst season of the show for throwing away everything in the story that has worked towards the past 4 seasons and absolutely filled them to the brim with unholy decisions. Number 71. Jaha is killed in the most underwhelming way possible. Number 72. Clarke survives prime fire explosions because Nightblood. Number 73. Clarke adopts Madi, who is the second most annoying character on the show. Number 74. You see a spaceship landing on Earth at the beginning of the season. Still no aliens. Number 75. The main problem with this season is Clarke's connection with Madi. At the beginning, Clarke wants nothing more than to see her friends again. She constantly checks her walkie-talkie and just hopes every day that they'll come back. But if they mess with Madi, who is literally destined to be a commander and start war, and she will eventually part from her anyways, then she will flip and betray all of them in an instant. Number 76. Once you eat People Cube, you never go back. Number 77. The phrase, you are one crew, or you're the enemy of one crew.
Choose.
Number 78. Clarke's whole morality game is just off, and she thinks the best way to get anything done is just kill, kill, kill! When she kills Octavia's second in command, and then tries multiple times to kill Octavia, who is her friend, by the way. You may think I'm doing an abundance of Octavia cryface, but number 79, still one of the worst things about the show, so here's number 79, here it is again. Okay, number 80. Clarke literally shoots an innocent grounder in the face, even though he was peaceful because of Madi's commanderness, and leaves all her friends to die. Number 81. Octavia is a complete idiot and thinks marching all of her people into a war she knows nothing about, where the enemy has mining guns that can kill 70 people in one blast, and she has only 2 machine guns and like swords and bows. Okay. Number 82. Octavia burns down all of the potential food sources to achieve said goal in Reason 80. Number 83. Everything everyone has worked to protect and retain, a peaceful Earth, from the very beginning of the show, is destroyed when McCreary nukes the last remaining wildlife. Number 84. Abby becomes a drug addict and starts betraying more people. But the show needs her because she's the only good doctor, so... Number 85. Kane, one of the show's best characters, is put into a coma by being neck-eaten. The way the season ends is arguably the highest point in the show, actually. We get a break from all the tension. Monty and Harper actually live through the whole thing, have a kid, and die peacefully. They even find a new habitable planet, thus beginning the peak of the 100 so far. The 6th season. Season 6. Number 86. The whole conflict of this season is covering up the mistakes of previous seasons. That being the stupid mistakes everyone made constantly. But saying that you made those mistakes isn't really a good thing. Number 87. Shaw is killed in the first episode. What? Shouldn't he live through that? Everyone lives through everything. Number 88. The castle is literally the most colorful and beautiful thing they've had in the show. And it still looks like Skittle barf. Number 89. Clarke survives brain wiping for some BS reason that she has a neural mesh from the Alley 2 thing way back when. Oh, and also because she can't die. She's still the key, remember? Number 90. Somehow Bellamy picks up on reason 89 through Josephine tapping randomly on her arm, which she somehow knew was Morse code. Number 91. Octavia gets a witch hand from the anomaly, which we later find out is just a wormhole. No one else ever gets a witch hand from it, so it's never explained. Number 92. Knife wounds are such a small issue that when Jordan gets stabbed, it's almost like you forget he's in the show when he comes back fully healed at the end of the season. Number 93. Abby resurrects Kane, but Kane just kills himself anyways. Number 94. Abby cryface. Arguably worse than Octavia cryface. Number 95. Clarke feels absolutely nothing when she is acting as Josephine, witnessing Madi's bone marrow being sucked dry, even though she would have killed everybody in the room if the same thing was happening last season. Number 96. Shadehaida escapes Madi's head by traveling through computers like Wreck-It Ralph. Season 7. Number 97. Shouldn't Gabriel be one of the smartest people ever since he's like 237 or something? It's just an estimate. I don't really want to check. So why does he tell their only way of getting off the planet prison to the insane, unpredictable guy with his eye on backwards? Number 98. Hope is introduced as the new worst character in the show, topping Octavia. Number 99. The one level 10 war vet who is literally having tea with corpses he dug up is apparently sane and knows more about combat than Echo, Hope, and Gabriel combined. Number 100. The same war vet that they all become friends with in 5 years and rehearse a plan for 5 years with is betrayed without hesitation by Echo. So yeah, the 100 kinda sucks. But what do I know? Don't listen to stupid people on the internet. Enjoy what you enjoy.